They're not piranhas, they're galaxia. They're little native fish, mountain galaxia. And if you see all those bubbles, when you get your eye in, you can see little schools of them. There's a lady from Zoos Victoria came, and she got really excited, and she said, "Oh, you realise these habitats are fast disappearing all throughout Victoria because of farmers still draining paddocks and things like that." And she was curious to know why these were here, and I explained that the creek going down to the plain becomes marshy ground eventually, and then it almost disappears under the plain before it enters Corryong Creek. So that way it blocks all the predatory fish like the trout and that would normally eat them. It's like a refuge here for the galaxia.
Thanks for joining us this morning, John. It's good to meet you, and sorry to get you in on short notice, but we're keen to hear about the Corryong Wetlands project that Board of Trust has funded, and I'd really be interested. I know you've been involved from the very beginning in this project, and we'd be really interested in hearing what's involved in that first stage of the project.
Well, the first stage was really ideas were called for what would benefit the town and the community, and it was an idea that I had kind of in the back of my brain for a while, and not an original idea. Many towns around Victoria are doing similar projects, but it came up at a tourist meeting in late 2018, Tourist Association meeting, and I was asked to run with the project. So the first summer, the summer of 2018-19, was really doing a feasibility study, and it was a dry summer, which was to our advantage because we would see the wetlands at its worst. Then it was a matter of gaining community support and also support from government bodies, dealing with communicating with the Corryong Recreation Reserve Committee of Management, who are basically responsible for all of the area where the wetlands will be located. Yeah. And that. And from then on, it was a slow process through bushfires and then COVID. But then in recent times, things have really picked up momentum as we've got everybody now on board, or most everybody, and also through Board of Trust we've got the funding to proceed with part one.
And John, when would you hope that the project could kick off now that you've developed the concept and have the funding?
Well, we hope very soon. The wetlands are at their wettest at the minute, so it's hard to do any kind of earthworks. But this summer we'll certainly start the earthworks, and we hope to start putting the pathways in, putting the car park in, and supporting fencing, and also the boardwalks. The boardwalk work and the footbridges obviously can't start till probably mid to late summer.
Yeah.
The last steel posts will be the car park. So, and the pathways are going, which will run along just this high ground here.
Yeah.
It'll run from the car park through down there, down to this side of the fallen burnt log, and there'll be a raised walkway to the creek, then a footbridge over the creek. Then it'll meander up to just behind where the wooden jump is over there, the one mate constructed of boards.
Yeah.
Behind there we'll have our second picnic area, which will be 2 picnic tables. Anyway, the pathway will extend just a little bit below that last tree guard there, and then the boardwalk will start on this flat across to the footbridge, and then there'll be boardwalk on the other side, and then it'll be graded track up to the picnic area there. And then there'll be a path going to over behind that burnt black stump. There'll be another footbridge there, and then a pathway back to the car park, so to get people to kind of hopefully do the circuit rather than just go straight to the picnic areas. We hope to have a good part of the infrastructure of stage 1 in place before the next Man from Snowy River festival. And then after that time will be the ideal time to do some further revegetation and planting. And that's yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. What are some of the benefits? Obviously there's the environmental aspect, but what are some of the other benefits that you think would come out of this project?
Well, that's a big part of the project, in that we want a bit of a native reserve close to the town that people can visit, but we're steering away from calling it a reserve or anything that formal. We're going to call the area the Corryong Wetlands Wander, because that's what we want to encourage people to do, is to go down there, picnic, wander around, have a look at the bird life. One big thing with this project is not only having the completed project, but we'd like people to get involved in the development, and hopefully people will get a sense of accomplishment as they see things kind of fall into place. And that. The other side of it is a big benefit out of this, I think, will be for the education of the students from the Catholic school and Corryong College, and we're really trying to encourage them to get on board, and hopefully with the assistance of their science teacher, it'll be a good success. One of the little ideas we've got is our last tree planting. We lost a lot of trees during the 2019-20 fire, a lot of beautiful old mature trees, so we thought the first thing to do was to get new Blakely red gums and apple box planted for the future. People of my generation won't see them at maturity, but hopefully our children and grandchildren will see the benefit of them. So we did a stage where just a few of us planted the trees because we couldn't bring the children from Corryong College because of COVID. But after, in autumn, we hope to get the kids involved in a second tree planting. And my hope is to put the species and the date the tree was planted and the student's name beside each tree, and that will draw them back again year after year, and perhaps they'll bring their kids and their grandkids to see the trees that they planted. It's a way to kind of draw the kids in. But education is a big side of this. Zoos Victoria are very keen on the educational side, and they will be assisting us with signage and things like that. So,
thanks for having a chat today about the project, and we really look forward to seeing the project evolve and keeping in touch and physically seeing how it develops.
Well, thank you to Board of Trust for all your support. It's absolutely great, and it's got a real momentum now, and things will be moving. So, thank you.
Thanks, John.